So we're a couple of days away from New Year's, and there's no electricity hardly in Lawton, Oklahoma. So we're gonna go up to Norman, hang out with my sister. Anyway, it was funny. We got some coffee on the edge of town at the Hop and Sack, and man, it's like one of the only places open. But
And gizzards, we got gizzards.
yeah, we got some gizzards. That's the way we get down in the country. So anyhow, my mom, she got her degree while we were little kids, and she wound up going to work for General Dynamics in Fort Worth. She was going like 2 hours out of the way. Anyway, she wound up not liking that job, and she wound up working at Texas Instruments, doing silicon wafer chips and stuff. And every year they would actually fly her out to San Francisco, and
Silicon Valley.
yeah. But can you kind of tell us in a little bit just kind of how the information, or what is it, the technology age kind of changed? And we were talking about, like how you
When
were
I
talking.
was in college, that was our instructor told us that America used to lead, the United States used to lead everything in technology back then. That's why I said it was such a joke to say that you got something made in Japan, made in China, because it wasn't going to last. And so he just was telling us that, and it was kind of it was one of those hard pills to swallow, to think that we were going to be overtaken by other countries in the technology age, and we were. So talking about that in the schools and all of that, because we used to be the smartest nation as well, and so things have changed. Coming from Oklahoma now, we sit like at the bottom of close to the bottom. So I don't know. I work for defense contractors, and I would have had to have leaned towards going to voting Republican, because defense contracting is all about business. It's just all about money.
Well,
It's a business.
2 years ago they spent 864 billion.
Oh,
The next
yeah,
year it was
it's
600
huge.
billion. And I mean, anytime you do get a Democrat in there, because for people like me that actually understand, I mean, like, I'm a fighter. I don't mind fighting, but I do realize this: I'm a damn grown adult. I know how to use my big boy words to not get into, like, I know how to argue without like swinging a punch, though, because it's not even our war. A lot of research and development.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, a lot of.
That's just my thinking. Conspiracy.
I don't lean so much towards a conspiracy, just on
I kind
opinion.
of do on some parts.
It's
Except for World War II, that wasn't a conspiracy. Since then, I always believed everything was a conspiracy.
mm,
But I'm a yellow dog Democrat and intend to stay that. So
yeah.
now I'm employed in a service mind area that our whole office is the same political leaning. So that's the way I roll.
My question is this, though:
Wait, I'm at the place where I'm supposed to be.
is it because that Oklahoma was known for so long for oil? Like, I know, like, our native gaming actually surpassed.
They do. Like, I'm sure we have, like,
Is that why they tend to vote like Republican?
it's kind of the oil. Wait, I'm somewhere where I'm supposed to be. Well, yeah, because I have to. I'm sure we declared a state of emergency right now for being out of that. And so I know New Jersey got mad when they had that big hurricane that came through there, and they wouldn't declare a state of emergency or give them FEMA funds or whatever it was. But, like, oh my gosh, we're the state of emergency pretty much. We always get that because
The largest company in the world is called Saudi Aramco, which is Saudi Aramco holds between 2 and 9 trillion dollars worth of oil and oil reserves, and the second largest company in the world is, what is it? Apple? No, it is. It's Apple, though. But that's the crazy thing, is that once they get their research and development, and they actually say, okay, we've got a winner here, and we're going to build this. Most people do not realize that, in the good old United States, the reason that stuff gets kicked out to another country, it's because they make it a lot cheaper than we do, and there's nothing. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to mass produce it after a while. So to be able to mass produce and being able to distribute, a damn iPhone or a Samsung. You got the Samsung 7 getting ready to come out in February, and this next fall you've got the iPhone that's getting ready to come out. So those are big business, though. The only thing is you actually have to market, advertise, and do all kinds of stuff. You don't have to sell oil, and that's just some of the things, though. But I say that I'm very lucky, though, because like my mother, she worked for a defense contractor, and that's one of the things is that they thrive on. And every time you pay taxes, the majority of taxes goes to defense contracting and aerospace, because they'll shoot up they will shoot up a rocket up into space, though, and so they can spy and pry into people's business and different stuff like that. And that's just things, though, because Saudi Arabia actually got ready to, whenever they created a war with them, they had to do over banking, because the only way you could buy oil was actually switch your money over to the American dollar. And they were switching on to the yen, yuan, and the euro. And the very next day, Saudi Arabia, like George Bush, he launched a war against Saudi Arabia, and now it piggybacks off the International Monetary Funds, and it's a central bank, which everybody knows that Jewish people control central banks. So there's an instance with Arabs and Jews not getting along, and the Jews kind of used the United States military. So that's a very sensitive subject, because I got a lot of family that are in the military, and I got a lot of really good friends, though. But a lot of times we don't fight for our own causes. It's because that banking industry, that thing called TV, and that thing at Hollywood, even the cell phone that I even hold in my hand, the original one was created by Motorola, and it was created by Israel. A lot of the apps that were ever done, and they trace that stuff, though. This thing called spiders, whenever you're dealing on search engine optimization, search engine marketing, and most search engines come from Israel, and a lot of people don't really do the research or anything. I just say this: look it up sometime. I promise you don't know that. Most people don't know that your text messaging, SMS text, that's an app. It's just already installed on your phone, and